Have you ever had a dream so big, so impossible, that even you laughed at yourself for daring to believe in it? If so, you're going to want to stay until the very end of this story, because what I'm about to share may change the way you look at your life forever. And before we dive in, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, because today's story isn't just about one person, it's about the possibility that exists for all of us. There was once a young woman named Lila, a 28-year-old single mother who worked long hours as a cashier in a small grocery store. Her days were filled with ringing up items, bagging groceries, and forcing a smile while her heart felt heavy. She had dreams once, big ones, dreams of writing books, traveling the world, and giving her son, Aiden, a life full of wonder. But every day, reality crushed her spirit just a little more. Bills piled up. Rent was always overdue. Her son needed new shoes, and she had to decide between buying them or keeping the electricity on. Lila carried herself with dignity, but deep down, she believed she was trapped in a cycle she would never escape. One night, after a particularly exhausting day, she sat at her small kitchen table. Aiden was asleep in the next room, and Lila's tears silently hit the unpaid bills scattered across the table. She whispered, "There has to be more to life than this. There has to be a way out." And that's when she stumbled on something unexpected. On her phone, she clicked on a random video titled, "Quantum Manifestation is so easy, people refuse to believe it." At first, she rolled her eyes. "Oh great, another scam," she muttered. But something about the speaker's calm confidence made her pause. He talked about the power of thought, how emotions act like frequencies, and how the universe responds to what we project into it. It sounded ridiculous, but also, strangely possible. For the next week, Lila couldn't get the idea out of her head. She decided to try it, not because she believed, but because she was desperate. She followed the steps. Visualize the life she wanted. Feel the emotions of already having it. Release doubt and act with gratitude. Every morning before work, she closed her eyes and pictured herself as a writer. She saw her name on the cover of books, imagined herself walking on a stage to speak to an audience, and, most importantly, she pictured Aiden smiling, free from worry. At first, nothing happened. She still worked the same job, still counted pennies at the end of the week. But something inside her began to shift. For the first time in years, she felt hope flicker inside her chest. That hope gave her courage. Instead of scrolling social media on her breaks, she started jotting down story ideas. Instead of complaining about her job, she whispered gratitude for every paycheck, no matter how small. Slowly, she noticed little changes. One day, a customer noticed her scribbling in a notebook. "Are you a writer?" the woman asked casually. Embarrassed, Lila almost denied it. But something inside her said, "Claim it." So she nodded. "Yes. I'm a writer." The woman smiled and revealed that she worked as an editor for a small local publishing house. She offered to read Lila's work. That single conversation cracked open a door Lila thought would never exist for her. Weeks turned into months. Lila kept writing, kept visualizing, kept practicing gratitude even when life tested her. She wasn't rich yet, her problems weren't gone, but opportunities began to line up like dominoes waiting to fall. Her first book draft was rough, but the editor encouraged her. "There's talent here," she said. That encouragement fueled Lila like oxygen to a flame. But then came the setback. The publishing house rejected her first manuscript. Lila cried for hours, convinced she was foolish for ever believing in manifestation. "This doesn't work," she whispered. But then she remembered the lesson from the video: setbacks aren't the end, they're the test of belief. So she chose again. She rewrote. She visualized again. She felt gratitude even for rejection, saying, "This is leading me somewhere better." 2 years later, her life looked completely different. Lila's book was published, Not by that small local publisher, but by a national company that had discovered her writing online. The book didn't just sell, it went viral, inspiring women everywhere with her raw honesty about struggle, hope, and resilience. With the money from her book deal, she moved her son into a safer neighborhood, bought him the shoes he needed and more, and finally had time to travel, the very thing she once only dared to imagine. But here's the part that truly stunned her. When she was invited on stage to speak about her journey, she realized she was living the exact image she once saw during her morning visualizations. The stage, the lights, the smiling faces, it was all there, just as she had pictured it. And yet, what mattered most wasn't the money, the success, or the fame. What mattered was the belief. That simple truth she had once dismissed as nonsense had become the foundation of her new life. When people asked her how she did it, she smiled and said the words she once mocked, "Quantum manifestation is so easy, people refuse to believe it." The hardest part is not the process, it's convincing yourself it's real. So if you're watching this right now, let Lila's story remind you, your circumstances don't define your destiny. What you focus on expands. What you believe in, you attract. What you feel with gratitude, the universe mirrors back to you. Don't let doubt steal your future. Try it for yourself. Visualize. Believe. Act. And when the universe begins to align with your energy, you'll look back and realize, you were never powerless. You just hadn't unlocked it yet. If this story inspired you, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel, because together we're building a community of dreamers who refuse to give up. And who knows? Maybe one day, we'll be telling your story here. Because the truth is simple, quantum manifestation works. The only question is,